Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to the 10-year celebration of the great RadhaRaman Folk Festival, International RadhaRaman Folk Festival. As you all know, this is streaming live from RadhaRaman Folk Festival page. And unfortunately, those who followed RadhaRaman Festival, they know the joy of life that you promote through the live events. But at the time of this new normal, the festival is happening virtually. So there is always silver lining in cloud. Now we can share the beauty of RadhaRaman Festival, the beauty of Bengali folk music with the audience from all across the world. And as you know, this is 10-year celebration. So during last 9 years, RadhaRaman Society, RadhaRaman Folk Festival has connected many audiences from predominantly Bengali, Indian, but also non-Indian audiences. And as well as non-Indian artists, performers, almost performers from all across the world, almost folk musicians from all across the world, folk dancers from all across the world. So this is a time for us to share these achievements, this joy of life that we have been promoting through this festival. We always say explore the beauty of the lyrical landscape of the North through Bengali folk music. And as you know, this festival, that's why, happens in exciting venues, exciting spots. So in daytime at summer, we chose some bank of the lakes and bank of rivers where barbecue happens in one side and also the music, folk music, flute is being played in other side. That's how, and then one session happens in the deep forest where we do networking with dancers, Damoil dance, music, along with these activities. We actually have been promoting the joy of life, happiness, and as you know, the festival happens 3 days long. So this is the one of the rare festivals that happens all day, all night. So after the festival, audiences go home with tears because they develop a human bonding in these 3 days and through the relaxing networking in the lap of the nature. So this festival is definitely, I mean, this year, the festival is happening in different way. We are missing actually the beauty of live events, the beauty of meeting each other from different cities. But still, like I said before, we are sharing this music, we are sharing our stories, we are sharing the glories that we achieved so far with the audiences from all across the globe. So many thanks to those who have been supporting this festival for the last 9 years passionately. We received support from many corners of the community, and we acknowledge gratefully the contribution that is being made by the people from different communities. So, ladies and gentlemen, this festival also virtually planned for 3 days. Today we have inauguration event session, and then we have a beautiful session of violin music. The finest violinist of this time. Bidushi Kalaramnathji is joining just after this session at 4 p.m. And then Baul, Raju Dash Baul from Shantiniketan will join with Simon Theka, who is an iconic Scottish musician who works with Baul music. And then Lara Edie, a Canadian Lebanese musician, will join as part of today's event. And then Laboni Jesse will sing just after this session, just at the ending session of today. Tomorrow we'll have the same event, same session, same programming. We will have some panel discussions, then some wonderful musicians coming from, joining from all across the globe. And that include Anup Jalataji, Bhajan King Anup Jalataji will join. Jyoti Chakraborty will join from India. Parvati Das Baul join from India day after tomorrow. So we will have some world-leading musicians as part of this festival this year. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will introduce all of our guests one after another. But let's have an official announcement of inauguration from none other than Anwar Choudhury. As you know, he's one of the firm supporter of this festival from day one we started. I was listening to his speech in the first session about 9 years ago that happened in Bradford. So he's, as you know, he's one of the top diplomats of British Foreign Service. He served as a former High Commissioner, British High Commissioner in Bangladesh, and was the governor of Caymen Island. But moreover, he's also, I count him as the ambassador of South Asian arts, South Asian folk music to the rest of the world. So let us have the official inauguration from Anwar Choudhury.
Hello, Kaysher. Hello to all our friends at the RadhaRaman Festival. Hello to friends all over the world, particularly in Bangladesh, but also here in our country, in the United Kingdom. It's always a pleasure to join this festival. Although this, of course, is the first time I'm doing it over a mobile phone. So, as you said, I miss that physical embrace of our festival. And you're right, Kaysher, that brings something very special. But I think this festival, the way you've organized it, and I wanted to congratulate you and the RadhaRaman Committee for getting it done this year, and doing it in a way so that it has now taken on a new dimension. Normally, we can't always get the artists from all over the world to join us in Leeds and Bradford, where this festival takes place. But this time, I think you have arranged artists from all over the world. RadhaRaman is special in so many ways. I'm proud and I have the privilege of sharing the same birthplace as RadhaRaman, that is Jagannathpur. And RadhaRaman, I don't know if many of our audience, there was rather physically a small man, but he was a giant, a juggernaut, a Jagannath, as the word Jagannath comes from Jagannath, of Bengali culture and folk music. And I think this year, this festival is particularly important because it's been an awful year. The world has seen nothing like it. I've never seen anything like it in my lifetime. This year, we have lost friends, family, and we worry. We worry about those people, everybody around us. And I think this year has reminded us just how fickle, how fragile life is, and why it's important to celebrate, why it's important to spend time, why it's important to think about the things that are important to us. And that opportunity was there throughout this year. And RadhaRaman is kind of special in that thought, because he spent most of his life writing about the thing that really matters. And that thing is love. And he expressed that love through the wonderful lyrics, the beautiful poetry of Baul music. And nearly 200 years later, we listen to those verses and we begin to understand the intensity of life and love, and why one is meaningless without the other. So I think when we celebrate the RadhaRaman Festival this year, we should think about those things and why it's so important in this precious little time that we have, that can be taken away anytime from unforeseen forces, that we enjoy in song and in spirit, albeit virtually across the world, and celebrate this wonderful soul who has left so much for us to listen to, for us to embrace with, for us to hug, and for us to enjoy. So let me end by saying congratulations to the RadhaRaman Festival Committee for getting this together again. I shall be joining in tomorrow and on Sunday and today as well later. Unfortunately, I have a few commitments because we're still working today, but I really look forward to all these great artists that you have mentioned. I'm a huge fan of some of them, as you know. So I'm very, very pleased that you managed to do this, Kaysher, and the committee. All my friends in the committee have managed to get it together. So thank you very much indeed, and let's have a wonderful few days celebrating and singing all the songs that we love. Thank you.
Thank you. Many thanks, Anwar bhai. As I mentioned before, the live streaming is available at RadhaRaman Folk Festival page. So please do share and let your friends have the opportunity to be the part of this wonderful festival. So we'll have, after inauguration session, like I mentioned, we have some world-leading musicians that includes Anup Jalota, Cllr Ramnathji, Pandit Kumar Bosh, who are joining from India, Parvati Das Baul, Jyoti Chakraborty from Kolkata, Bappa Mujumdar, and then some wonderful dancers are joining as part of this programming. So we have, I will introduce one after another. Many thanks, Anwar Choudhury, for supporting this festival from day one. So let us have a bit of perhaps a speech from Councillor Asghar Khan. Councillor Asghar Khan is also another firm supporter of this festival. So because the Leeds City Council is supporting this festival from the second one that we organized in that we hosted in Bangladesh Centre. We have Muhibur Rahman Manik, a pro-people politician, member of parliament from Bangladesh, who joined as part of inauguration session, and we're expecting some other ministers joining as well from Bangladesh. We are expecting also another three pro-people politicians, member of parliaments member of British Parliament, Fabian Hamilton, Alex Sobel, and Richard Burgon, while the inauguration goes on, continues. So I'll come back to Manik Bhai afterwards, but Councillor Asghar Khan, if you kindly say a few words as part of this inauguration session. I can see Jayanta Roy, who is the partner, Sangeet Foundation, co-founder of Sangeet Foundation, who joined so far, who is partnering with this 10-year celebration of RadhaRaman Festival. We have Amol Poddar, part and parcel of RadhaRaman Society, backbone of RadhaRaman Society, who is here. Sangeet Choudhury, another key organizer of RadhaRaman Society. Unfortunately, he's not in Leeds. He joined from London. Many thanks, Sangeet. Shamim Khan, also another key part of RadhaRaman's activities, the editor of the Kranti, who joined from London. Suhail Ahmed, who is also another wonderful supporter of RadhaRaman Society, a founder of LGBT group Apangor, a folk dancer who joined from London. Suhail Ahmed, many thanks. And we are also hoping some other friends, including Mitul. So Shaheen Mitul, another part and parcel of RadhaRaman Society, a wonderful friend, a concert organizer. Many thanks, Mitul. Jasmine Choudhury, who is working from behind the scene. Perhaps I'd like to introduce she's mainly a political activist, equality and fairness campaigner, who's working from behind the scene. Another friend of us, a poet and journalist, Sarwari Alam, who is also working from behind the scene. So, Councillor Asghar Khan, over to you now.
Thank you, Ahmed. Before I begin, can
So
I
congratulations,
congratulations,
Asghar Bhai, congratulations, because you are going to be the next mayor of Leeds. Congratulations in advance.
Thank you. Thank you, Ahmed. Good afternoon, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is, as Ahmed said, my name is Councillor Asghar Khan. I'm the councillor for Bermondsey and Richmond Middle Ward. And also I am the Deputy Executive Member for Health and Wellbeing in Leeds. And I am delighted to be here this afternoon. And before I begin, can I take this opportunity to congratulate, the committee member of RadhaRaman, for organising this wonderful event. As you know, past 8-9 months, it's been very, very difficult. We can't meet face to face due to COVID-19. And hopefully the vaccine has been developed, so it will be rolled end of next year, at the beginning of the next year, and hopefully the pandemic should overcome those infection rates. I've been involved with the RadhaRaman Festival since I was elected in 2011 in City of Leeds in Bermondsey Richmond Ward. And it's a pleasure working with the committee member and Ahmed, and especially with Ahmed because he lives in my ward I represent in Leeds. And he's one of my best brothers and friends to have on board. As you know, Leeds is a compassionate city, welcoming city, and a diversity. And the activities people bring from different cultural is impacting in a positive way, especially on the growth and on the local communities. Through Ahmed and the RadhaRaman Festival, you are breaking a lot of barriers and you are building bridges with different communities, and we are really, really proud of that. And I just want to say, that there's going to be amazing things going to be taking place over the next 3 days. And I wish every single one of you please take part in it, and you will enjoy it. And
because, even if you don't speak the same language, however, there's three things that brings people together: the sport, music, food, and and the music is one of those instruments that people can take on board, and it will help you through difficult times. Due to, if you've got mental health issues, if you listen to music, and you will relax and you feel better, and I'm sure people will enjoy the event. And once again, I just want to say thank you, Ahmed, and your committee for organising another fantastic event in the city of Leeds, and we are proud of you, and keep up the good work, and thank you once again. Thank you.
Many, 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 many thanks, Asghar bhai. And then again, congratulations in advance. And we are sure a wonderful pro-people politician has been is going to go in the right place. So as the mayor, as the next mayor of Leeds, congratulations from RadhaRaman Society for you. Mitul, just in the meantime, before we go to Jayanta Roy, who is a passionate promoter of mental health issues through art, and the co-founder of Sangeet Foundation. If you kindly see whether any live comments there, so that just to make sure that we have been seen properly, we are seen properly, we are heard properly.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I can hear you.
Mojammel Hussain, congratulations, Abdul Bhomik, well done. Shopnil, beautiful conversation. Rizwanullah Ari, great historical moment. Abdul Kudus, many congratulations and best wishes. Jasmine Chaudhry, best wishes.
So Jasmine Chaudhry is one of our close friends, and like I said, part and parcel of the activities we do together, as you know. So many thanks, Jasmine, and who is working tirelessly from behind the scene in relation to promote and strategize the activities of the festival. And then our Kudus Bhai is almost a guardian of South Asian community here in the north. Many thanks, Kudus Bhai. Look forward to meeting you on Sunday. Amra, our next speaker is Jayanta Roy as part of this inauguration session. Over to you, Jayanta Roy.
Yeah. Thank you, Kaysher bhai. I was not really prepared for saying anything in this forum, but thank you so much for including me. I think, it has been I have seen a lot of online performances over the past few months as we started off with Sangeet Foundation. As you know, I think Mr. Asghar Khan, he actually, he did touch upon the very basic tenets of Sangeet Foundation. So our tagline is happiness through music and the arts. And happiness is a state of mind. It's about mental health. So it's about addressing mental health using music and the arts. It's one of the ways. There are other ways, but we believe in using music and the arts to talk about it, and also to use it as a therapy for mental health, and in all forms. So I think RadhaRaman Society is doing a fantastic job, and thank you so much for reaching out to me. It's been a big eye-opener, and I think I never realized that there's something like this does happen in Leeds, and I would love to be a part of it. I'm really happy that I could be a part of it. We do have a lot of friends in Leeds, and I do realize we have a lot of common friends in Leeds as well, musicians and so on, and who will be a part of this. I've seen that they would be participating in this, which is fabulous. And congratulations on the 10th year. I think it's a big achievement. In this country, setting it up. And most important for me is the fact that this embraces all kind of people from all religions, from all backgrounds, from all orientations, and really it fills my heart with joy and to be part of this. So all the best, congratulations. I'm sure next 3 days we'll be rocking absolutely, and folk music is so close to my heart as well. So
Oh, great,
yeah,
great, exactly.
so,
So next year, please plan after this if by all means we need to come over this
right,
pandemic. So after COVID, this festival is important because like what you do through art activities, promote the beauty of life, promote the joy of life. So that's
absolutely,
why, and as you know, North is a place, especially Yorkshire Dales. The beauty of Yorkshire Dales is world known, and
absolutely,
that's why we choose some beautiful places. So that it's not happening in just art and community venues. So you go to the river, perhaps the bank of the river, like I mentioned, in one thread, people are barbecuing, networking, and then other side people are playing. So this is part of our formal programming as well. So someone is
yeah,
perhaps playing flute, or someone is singing, or doing damai dance. Damai dance is a group dance. Everyone can be involved there,
right,
and that happens at the lap of the nature. And we hired a bungalow just at the town on the top of the hill and far from the muddy crowd. So whole night session. This festival is also important. Is also unique in a sense that it happens all day, all night. So a great opportunity to network with same-minded people. That's why it flourishes during this short span. It flourishes so wonderfully and connected audiences from different traditions. It also, RadhaRaman Society, although this RadhaRaman Festival happens in Leeds, but we do host all year programming actually. We do host Baul and Busho Music Festival that happens in London, as you know. And then we have also introduced and created a Western interpretation of Bengali opera that is called Jatra Pala. But we did
right,
it. We created a Western interpretation so that audiences from Western background they can enjoy the beauty of our opera, Jatra Pala Bengali
right.
rural theatre.
Oh, I would
So
love to
look
see
forward.
that in the, in when we were children, our parents used to take us to the jatra in the locality where you would sit in the
Oh,
night
great.
and watch people, the jatra happening. And that unique thing I have not seen in the last, 40 years now. I would love to see that as well.
Right, that happens in London. So we did Beder Mein Jyotsna, we did Madan Kumar Madhumala, and many Mohuar Pala, and that was hugely acclaimed by Bengali and non-Bengali audiences as well. So our house always received the theatre places always receive a good mixture of Bengali and non-Bengali audiences because we tried to create an interpretation, modern interpretation of this pala for
Okay.
non-Indian audiences as well. So many things. Jayanta Rai for joining and the words that you have shared as part of this inauguration, and look forward to meeting you on 11 RadhaRaman Festival in Leeds.
Absolutely. Thank you so
So
much for that. Delighted.
fortunately, Fabian Hamilton is here. Fabian Hamilton is a firm supporter of RadhaRaman Festival. Like I said before, Fabian is also a pro-people politician, like I said, member of British Parliament for North East Leeds, Shadow Secretary for Peace and Disarmament. So many thanks, Fabian, for joining. We just Councillor Asghar Khan was here, so he's still here. Anwar Choudhury is still here, but he's perhaps his video is not on. and Amol Poddar. Many of you, perhaps Fabian, you know Amol Poddar and Muhibur Rahman Manik, a member of Bangladesh Parliament, who joined. Perhaps you met him in last RadhaRaman Festival. So many thanks, Fabian, for joining. I will come back to you, and some of our friends, Jayanta Roy, who is a co-founder of Sangeet Foundation, Shamim Shahan, the editor of the Granthi, Sohail Ahmed, the founder of an LGBT group, Apun Ghor, and Shahin Mitul is a friend of us, part and parcel of RadhaRaman Society and the activities that we do, the Granthis activities, as you know. A concert organizer as well. So let us have a bit of talk from Muhibur Rahman Manik. Manik ভাই, আপনার কাছে আসতে চাই, আপনার একটু আনমিউট করা লাগবে। মানিক ভাই শুনতে পাচ্ছেন তো? আপনার ইয়েটা একটু আনমিউট করা লাগবে, আপনি এখন মিউটেড আছেন, একটু আনমিউট করা লাগবে, উই হ্যাভ টু আনমিউট। আমাদের মানে we will share the screen. The director of Nehru Centre sent a wonderful message because he couldn't join. The minister of Indian High Commission in UK will share the screen soon. মানিক ভাই, আপনার কাছে শুনতে চাই, গত বছর আপনি রাধারমন ফেস্টিভ্যালে জয়েন করেছিলেন। আপনি তো নিজে দেখেছেন, আমরা মানে অত্যন্ত আনন্দিত আপনি যোগ দিয়েছিলেন এবং খুব ভূয়সী প্রশংসা করেছেন। আজকে এই নিউ নরমাল, একদম নতুন একটা সময়, একটা মানে সব দিকেই মানে ঘুম থেকে উঠি, আজকে আলী জাকের মারা গেলেন, আমাদের বাংলাদেশের সংস্কৃতি অঙ্গনের একজন পুরোধা ব্যক্তি, যাদের হাত ধরে নাটক, বাংলা নাটক একটা অন্য উচ্চতায় গেল, ইনি মারা গেছেন। তো প্রত্যেকদিন ঘুম থেকে উঠলেই একটা মন খারাপ করা একটা ব্যাপার থাকে। তো এই অবস্থায় দিস ফেস্টিভ্যাল আমরা হ্যাপিনেসটা স্প্রেড করতে চাইছি, এবং এর জন্য এবার 10 ইয়ার সেলিব্রেশন বলে আরো এটার প্রাসঙ্গিকতা তৈরি হলো। তা আপনার কাছে, আপনার বর্ণনায়, আপনার স্মৃতিতে গত বছরের রাধারমন সোসাইটির রাধারমন ফেস্টিভ্যালের কথা শুনতে চাই।
আমি শুরুতেই রাধারমন সোসাইটিকে আমি আন্তরিকভাবে ধন্যবাদ জানাই। তারা এই 10ম ফেস্টিভ্যালটি আয়োজনের জন্য, এই বৈশ্বিক মহামারীর মধ্যে যেখানে সবকিছু স্থবির হয়ে আছে, কিন্তু রাধারমন ফেস্টিভ্যাল এটিকে স্থবির করতে পারে নাই। এটি চলমান রয়েছে 1 থেকে আজকে 10ম রাধারমন উৎসব। এটি আমি কথা বলার শুরুতেই শ্রদ্ধা জানাই আমাদের বাংলাদেশের বিশিষ্ট সাংস্কৃতিক কর্মী, শুধু না, যিনি সংস্কৃতি অঙ্গনের নেতৃত্বে আসীন ছিলেন, আলী জাকের, যিনি একজন মহান মুক্তিযোদ্ধা, মহান মুক্তিযুদ্ধে যার অনন্য অসাধারণ অবদান ছিল, তার প্রতি আমি বিনম্র শ্রদ্ধা জানাই। আমি শুরুতেই আমাদের আজকের এই অনুষ্ঠানের সূচনা লগ্নে যিনি বক্তব্য রাখলেন, আমাদের প্রিয় আনোয়ার ভাই, আসগর খান সাহেব, মিতুল ভাই সহ যে সমস্ত যারা যুক্ত রয়েছেন, তাদেরকেও আন্তরিকভাবে অভিনন্দন জানাই। আন্তর্জাতিক পরিমণ্ডলে রাধারমনকে নিয়ে এই অনুষ্ঠানটি এই 10 বৎসরে আজকে পড়লো, এবং আমি আশাবাদী এটি যত বৎসরই গড়াবে ততই এটি আরো বৃহৎ আকারে, আরো বড় পরিসরে হবে। এই বৎসরেও তাদের অনেক বড় বড় পরিকল্পনা ছিল, কিন্তু বৈশ্বিক মহামারীর কারণে আজকে আমরা সরাসরি যুক্ত না হতে পেরে আমরা অনলাইনে বিভিন্নভাবে আমরা যুক্ত হয়েছি। আমাদের মধ্যে অনেকেই আমাদের বাংলাদেশের বা অন্যান্য বিশেষ করে ব্রিটিশ পার্লামেন্টের অনারেবল মেম্বার হ্যামিল্টন সহ অনেকেই যারা প্রতিটি বৎসরে প্রতিটি উৎসবে যুক্ত থাকেন, তারা নিশ্চয়ই যুক্ত হবেন এবং 3 দিন ব্যাপী অনুষ্ঠানটি উদযাপন করবেন। আমার দুর্ভাগ্য আমরা পারছি না, কারণ আমাদের দেশেও পৃথিবীর থেকে আলাদা নয়, আমরাও মহামারীর মধ্যে আছি। তো গত নবম যে উৎসবটি হলো সেটিতে আমার অংশগ্রহণ করার সুযোগ হয়েছিল। এটি মনে করি আমার জীবনের একটি অন্যতম একটি অনুষ্ঠান। সেই অনুষ্ঠান এবং উপভোগ করার অনুভূতিটুকুই আমি প্রকাশ করব। আমি আশা করব সঞ্চালক এবং এই ফেস্টিভ্যালের উদ্যোক্তা মিস্টার আহমেদ, তিনি আপনাদেরকে এগুলি ট্রান্সলেট করবেন। আমি গত 3 দিনের যে গত বছরের 3 দিন ব্যাপী যে অনুষ্ঠান ছিল, প্রতিটি অনুষ্ঠানে অংশগ্রহণ করে আমি অত্যন্ত অভিভূত হয়েছি। রাধা রমন এই হাওর অঞ্চলের সন্তান, আমরাও হাওর পাড়ের মানুষ, এই এলাকার প্রতিনিধিত্ব করি। এই এলাকার আবাল বৃদ্ধ বনিতা জাতি ধর্ম নির্বিশেষে সকলের কাছেই তিনি সমাদৃত। লোকসঙ্গীতের আজকে যে সমৃদ্ধি বা আজকে যে এই অবস্থান, এর পিছনে যে কয়জন, তার মধ্যে অন্যতম হচ্ছেন রাধা রমন। তার গীত, তার ধামাইল গান, তার অনেক কিছুই এখনো গ্রামে গঞ্জে পাড়ায় মহল্লায় সাধারণ মানুষের মুখে মুখে এখনো প্রচারিত। তখনকার সময় আজ থেকে 200 বছর আগে এইগুলি আজকের যে আধুনিক ব্যবস্থাপনা, এই ব্যবস্থাপনা ছিল না। এগুলি মানুষের মুখে মুখে ছিল বলেই আজকে আমরা তার এই অমূল্য রচনাগুলি, অমূল্য গীত এবং সাহিত্য, এগুলি আমরা আজকে পাচ্ছি এবং এগুলি সংরক্ষণের উদ্যোগ নেওয়া হচ্ছে। আমি মনে করি এই রাধা রমন ফেস্টিভ্যালটি তখনই সার্থক হবে রাধা রমনের সকল গান সংকলন আকারে, সকল রচনা সংকলন আকারে যদি তারা প্রকাশের উদ্যোগ নেন এবং এগুলি যদি প্রজন্ম থেকে প্রজন্মোত্তরে তারা যদি ছড়িয়ে দেন, তাইলে এটি বাংলার লোক সাহিত্যকে যেমন সমৃদ্ধ করেছে, তেমনি যতদিন বাঙালি থাকবে পৃথিবীতে, বাংলা ভাষাভাষী মানুষ থাকবে, ততদিন তার এই রচনা এবং এই গীত এইগুলির থেকে তারা শুধু আনন্দ নয়, অনেক শিক্ষা গ্রহণ করবে। ভাটি অঞ্চলে শুধু নয়, শুধু বাংলাদেশের মধ্যে সীমাবদ্ধ নয়, আমি দেখি আমাদের পার্শ্ববর্তী প্রতিবেশী দেশ বা বাংলা ভাষাভাষী মানুষ যেখানেই আছে সেখানেই রাধা রমনের গান, এগুলি এখনো, এগুলি যুগের যে যুগ উপযোগী না, এরা যুগের মানে এখনো আধুনিক অনেক গীতিকার, অনেক রচনা, অনেক কিছুই এসেছে, কিন্তু তার ধামাইল গান এখনো প্রতিটি উৎসবে অনুষ্ঠানে ভিন্ন মাত্রা পায়। এই যে তার রচনা সমৃদ্ধ, এইগুলি হাওর অঞ্চলের মানুষের শুধু নয়, আমি মনে করি এটি মানুষের, এই বাংলা ভাষাভাষী মানুষের একটি অমূল্য সম্পদ। এবং যে আয়োজন গত বছরে করেছিলেন গভীর জঙ্গলে এবং নিজে মাছ ধরে রান্না করে খাবার, এবং এই যে একটা উৎসবের আমেজ 3 দিন ব্যাপী, আমরা কিভাবে যে 3 দিন পার হয়েছে আমরা বুঝতে পারি নাই। ঠিক এই বছরেও অনুরূপ অনুষ্ঠান হবে, এটি আমার প্রত্যাশা, এবং আগামীতে আরো ভালো হবে, আরো বেশি সমৃদ্ধ হবে, এবং আমরা এই যান্ত্রিক কোনো মাধ্যমে নয়, আমরা সশরীরে উপস্থিত হয়ে আমরা এগুলি উপভোগ করব। এবং আমি রাধা রমন সোসাইটির যে সমস্ত কর্মকর্তাবৃন্দ আছেন তাদেরকেও বলবো, তারা যাতে এই বিষয়টি যেভাবে যত্ন সহকারে প্রতি বছরে উদযাপন করছেন, আগামীতেও যাতে তাদের উদযাপনে কোনো ধরনের কার্পণ্য না থাকে, তারা যাতে সমান আরো বেশি উৎসাহ নিয়ে এই ব্যবস্থাটি করেন, যাতে আমরা বছরের পর বছর উদযাপনের মধ্য দিয়ে রাধারমনকে আরো দুনিয়ার সামনে উপস্থাপিত করতে পারি এবং দুনিয়ার সংস্কৃতি মনা মানুষ যাতে রাধারমনকে জানতে পারে সেই প্রত্যাশা ব্যক্ত করে রাধারমন সোসাইটির সকল কর্মকর্তা এবং যারা আজকের এই অনুষ্ঠানে যুক্ত হয়েছেন তাদের সকলকে আমার আন্তরিক ধন্যবাদ জানিয়ে আমাদের সাংস্কৃতিক অঙ্গনের অনেকেই আজকে হয়তো পরবর্তীতে যুক্ত হবেন বা যুক্ত আছেন, তাদের প্রতিও আমার কৃতজ্ঞতা থাকলো। তারা যে আমার মতো একজন তৃণমূলের রাজনৈতিক কর্মীকে, একজন জনপ্রতিনিধিকে এই আসরে যুক্ত করেছেন, তাই সবাইকে আবারও আন্তরিক অভিনন্দন জানিয়ে আমি বিদায় নিচ্ছি। আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
Kaysher, you are in mute. Kindly unmute.
Many thanks, Muhibur Rahman Manik MP, for your wonderful speech. Just now, the planning minister from Bangladesh has joined, and we're expecting the Minister of State for Cultural Affairs will join perhaps shortly. Fabian Hamilton is here, the MP for Member of Parliament for Northeast Leeds. And many thanks. What Muhibur Rahman Manik said, he joined the festival last year, so he was absolutely overwhelmed by the beauty, by the nature of the festival, and what he insists now, and requesting now to RadhaRaman Society if we could make an archive with the works of RadhaRaman, and which can serve, which can preach the humanity and the beauty of love for the rest of the world, if it can be translated and if it can be published for the wider audiences. And Manik Bhai, that this is something that we are working on, and at this 10-year celebration, this is something that we are also strategizing our long-term vision to promote RadhaRaman's philosophy, RadhaRaman's works. Thank you, Manik Bhai. Amra, let us have a brief speech. Anwar Bhai just joined. Thank you. Anwar Bhai just joined now. Let us have a brief speech from Fabian Hamilton. Fabian said he's having a bit of trouble with internet. I would like to introduce one of the backbone of RadhaRaman Society, Omar Boddo, who is here. RadhaRaman Festival could not be shaped in a way it is at this moment if we couldn't have the huge contribution from this dynamic self-effaced man. নিভৃতচারিতা কাকে বলে এটা অমরদাকে না দেখে বোঝা যাবে না। অমর বদ্দ, many thanks Omar Boddo for your tireless contribution to promote Bengali folk music and RadhaRaman's work, and to organize RadhaRaman Festival, RadhaRaman's Society's activities. আমরা আমাদের বাংলাদেশ থেকে যোগ দিয়েছেন planning minister, এবং we are expecting Fabian to join. Fabian was just here, but perhaps he went out for troublesome internet connection. He's joining again. Right, okay. Let us have a brief speech from the Honorable Planning Minister of Bangladesh, M A Mannan, a pro-people politician and a dynamic politician, and also a dynamic bureaucrat. and now working on so many groundbreaking historical projects. So many thanks, Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Planning Minister, for joining at the inauguration of the festival. A warm welcome, and if you kindly say a few words. You are muted at this moment. If you kindly unmute yourself.
শোনা যাচ্ছে বোধ হয় না? ওকে,
এখন শোনা যাচ্ছে। হ্যাঁ,
ধন্যবাদ জনাব কৈশোর এবং আপনাদের সংস্থা যারা আয়োজন করছেন এখানে সুদূর যুক্তরাজ্যে বসে আমাদের বাঙালি সংস্কৃতির অন্যতম যে একটি শক্তিশালী দিক আমাদের লোকসঙ্গীতের দিক, সেদিকের একজন বড় আমাদের একজন বড় নমস্য, একজন যার অবদান আমাদের সংস্কৃতিতে, বিশেষ করে লোক সংস্কৃতিতে স্বীকৃত তো বটেই। এখন ধীরে ধীরে যত দিন যাচ্ছে, যত বাঙালিরা সচেতন হচ্ছে নিজেদের সম্বন্ধে, এটা আরো বাড়ছে। আপনি যে কোনো সময় বাংলাদেশে বৃহত্তর বাংলাভাষী জনগণ যেখানে বসবাস করেন, পশ্চিমবাংলা, ত্রিপুরা, আর আমরা তো অবশ্যই মূল বাংলাদেশ, এখন যতগুলো আপনি যে কোনো সময় যে কোনো রেডিও বা টিভি চ্যানেল বা ইত্যাদিতে আপনি যে কোনো সময় হঠাৎ করে যে কোনো শাখায় আপনি গান শুনবেন, রাধা রমনের গান প্রায় আমি নিজে কয়েকবার শুনেছি। আমি নিজে কোনো পণ্ডিত মানুষ নই, এই সম্বন্ধে গবেষণা করিনি, কিছু নয়। আমি ঠিক বক্তব্য, সারগর্ভ বক্তব্য, বিভিন্ন তথ্য দিই, আমি রাখতে পারবো না, এটা আমার ক্ষেত্রও নয়। আমি সাদামাটা কাজ করি, উন্নয়নের কাজ করি, আমি একজন উন্নয়ন কর্মী, আমি রাজনীতিও করি উন্নয়নের প্রয়োজনে। আসলে মূলধারার রাজনীতি যেটা বাংলাদেশে, সেটার সঙ্গে আমার অতটা বেশি সম্পৃক্ততা নেই। আমি একজন সাধারণ গ্রামীণ কর্মী হিসাবে গ্রামের মানুষের কল্যাণের জন্য কাজ করি, এবং যেহেতু গ্রামের মানুষ, সাধারণ মানুষের সঙ্গে আমার সংযোগ বেশি, এই সাধারণ মানুষের জীবনের সংগ্রামে এই সাংস্কৃতিক দিকটা, তাদেরও তো কিছু মাঝে মাঝে আনন্দের প্রয়োজন হয়, কিছু মন হালকা করার প্রয়োজন হয়। সেখানে যে আমাদের ভাটি অঞ্চলের, হাওড় অঞ্চলের বিশাল ঐতিহ্য রয়েছে, অনেকের নাম আপনারা জানেন, ব্যক্তিবর্গ আছেন। বিশেষ করে আমার বাড়ি যেখানে, আমার বাড়ির দিকপাল, শাহ আব্দুল করিম পশ্চিম দিকে, উত্তর দিকে হাসান রাজা, আর সরাসরি দক্ষিণ দিকে রাধারমন। ও রাধারমন তো আরো আমার বেশি ঘনিষ্ঠ, কারণ আমি যে এলাকাকে এখন আমাদের জাতীয় সংসদে প্রতিনিধিত্ব করি, সেই জগন্নাথপুর উপজেলা, জগন্নাথপুর পৌরসভার ভিতরেই তার বাড়ি। তার বাড়ি পাশ দিয়ে আমার যাওয়া আসা, এবং রাধারমনের নাম জানে না এমন লোক আপনি ওই অঞ্চলে খুঁজে পাবেন না। সুতরাং এই যে আমাদের রাধারমন যে একজন গুণী শিল্পী, লোকশিল্পী, তাকে আপনারা যুক্তরাজ্যের মতো একটি উন্নত দেশে, সেখানে উন্নত যে পরিবেশ, সেখানে আপনারা তাকে তুলে ধরছেন, এটা একটা বিশাল কাজ, সাহসের কাজ, বিশাল একটা ব্যবস্থাপনা আপনারা করছেন। এই জন্য আপনারা আমাদের ধন্যবাদ পাওয়ার যোগ্য। একটি কথা বলতে চাই আমি এখানে, যে আমাদের বাঙালিদের এখন সময়, বাঙালিদের সময় কেন বলছি, কারণ বাঙালিরা পরাধীন ছিল সবসময়ই, প্রায় আমার জানা মতে, যতটুকু জানি, এই প্রথম আমরা বাঙালি জাতির বৃহত্তর অংশ, বৃহত্তর অংশ আমরা বাংলাদেশে এখন আছি, এবং আমরা এই প্রতিনিধিত্ব করি বাঙালি জাতির। এখন বাঙালি সংস্কৃতি বলুন, বাঙালি সকল কাজে আমরা এখন সামনের ভূমিকায়। ইতিহাস আমাদেরকে দিয়েছে এনে, মহান মুক্তিযুদ্ধের মাধ্যমে বাঙালি জাতির বৃহত্তর অংশ স্বাধীনতা অর্জন করেছে, সেই অংশের এখন আমরা আমাদের হাতে। এটা আমাদের শুধু গর্ব নয়, আমার দায়িত্ব বটে। এই দায়িত্ব অত্যন্ত দুরূহ দায়িত্ব, কিন্তু একটা আনন্দের দায়িত্ব, কারণ এই বাঙালির এই প্রথমবারের মতো 21 শতকে এসে সুযোগ পেয়েছে বিশ্বের মানব জাতির সমাজে নিজেকে সমান মর্যাদায় তুলে ধরতে। তো সে কাজের একটা অন্যতম দিক আপনারা যুক্তরাজ্যে বসে করছেন। এর জন্য জনাব কয়েস, আপনি এবং আপনার সঙ্গে যারা আছেন সবাই আমাদের 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 ধন্যবাদ, কৃতজ্ঞতা পাওয়ার যোগ্য। অবশ্যই আপনাদেরকে আমরা বারবার ধন্যবাদ জানাব। আমি প্রথমে বলছিলাম যে আমি নিজে এই সম্বন্ধে কোনো জ্ঞানী ব্যক্তি নই, আমি এই সম্বন্ধে পড়াশোনা খুব বেশি নেই। আমি রাধারমণ নাম জানি, তার গানও শুনি মাঝে মাঝে, এইটুকুই আমার তার সম্বন্ধে ধারণা। তো তাকে আমি শ্রদ্ধা করি, সম্মান করি, যেমন আমি আমাদের জাতির আরো যারা বিভিন্ন মহান ব্যক্তিরা আছেন, শুধু লোকশিল্পে নয়, অন্যান্য ক্ষেত্র যারা আমাদের দেখিয়েছেন। এই যে আমাদের বিশাল জাতির যে বিশাল ঐতিহ্য, তার মধ্যে অন্যতম একটি আইকন যেটা বলা হয় আজকাল, খুব প্রিয় শব্দ, সেখানে শ্রী রাধারমন আছেন। তার প্রতি আপনারা শ্রদ্ধা জানাচ্ছেন, এটা আমি আপনাদের এই জন্য শ্রদ্ধা জানাই। আরো বেশি আমার দায়িত্ব, যেহেতু আমি ওই এলাকা রিপ্রেজেন্ট করি মহান সংসদে, রাধারমন তার এলাকার লোকজন এবং তার প্রতিবেশী লোকজন আমাকে স্নেহ করে ভোট দিয়ে পাঠান। সুতরাং তার প্রতি যখন আপনারা এই আয়োজন করছেন, তো আমার বাড়তি দায়িত্ব আপনাদের প্রতি আমার কৃতজ্ঞতা জানানো এবং সহায়তার হাত বাড়িয়ে দেওয়া। আপনারা দেশের ভিতরে বা যুক্তরাজ্যে যদি কোনো ক্ষেত্রে আমাদের সরকারের কোনো প্রয়োজন হয়, আমাদের সংস্কৃতি মন্ত্রণালয়ের দায়িত্ব আছে এই সম্বন্ধে, আমাদের মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী এই সম্বন্ধে খুবই আগ্রহী। সুতরাং আমার বিশ্বাস যে আপনাদের কোনো ওই ধরনের কোনো কর্মসূচি আসলে সেখানে আমরা হাত বাড়িয়ে দিতে পারবো। আমার ধারণা হয়তো কিছু বিদেশি অতিথি এখানে আছেন যারা বাংলা নয়, তাদের বাধ্য হয়ে অনেকটা দু চার কথা আমার ভাঙা ভাঙা ইংরেজিতে বলবো এবং তাদেরকে ধন্যবাদ জানাবার জন্য, কারণ মাতৃভাষার মতো সাবলীলভাবে বলা সম্ভব হবে না, এটা বলছি। So let me now extend my congratulations and my gratitude to the distinguished guests present on this occasion. Guests who did not follow what I said in my mother tongue, Bengali, quite naturally. For them, I want to say that we are very proud to be back with humanity. What did I mean by this? Bengalis are back on the world stage. Bengalis had been colonized, ruled for over thousands of years by outsiders. We are now conscious of our individual, our very distinct identity, and we're very proud of having had a very strong heritage in the Indian subcontinent, of which we're very proud. Our language, our folk contributions, our many other fields in sports, in music, everywhere there is a resurgence, a sort of a renaissance, which is now blowing over our country, and we are in the leading part of that. So we are very happy now that you distinguished guests who have kindly joined in this our very, what I would say, RadhaRaman, one of our strongest practitioners of our folk culture. They are remembering our diaspora, our non-resident Bengalis living in UK. And Mahmoud, so I extend my gratitude to him also. He is the person responsible for this activity that we are now trying to promote. So for our guests who have joined kindly in this very lively session, I'm sure they will enjoy some of the beautiful songs. I wish they could understand the Bengali words, but I'm sure organizers can supply some translations. But that's not very important. More important is the lilting local, rural, folk music of Bengal, music of Bangladesh. which will, I'm sure, will be demonstrated through some of the songs that you'll hear this afternoon. So having said this, I would now like to thank Mr. Kaysher for being kind and for remembering me and asking me to join with all of you at this evening's function, in this event, and also extend my best wishes and success. I'm very sorry, I'm not sounding very well. I've been down with COVID for the last 2 months almost. I am not working from office. I'm staying home and at a minimal level, I'm joining various functions. So I wish I could really be, I could continue to be here throughout and participate and enjoy the proceedings, the beautiful events that will follow. So, Mr. Kaysher, thank you once again, and other gentlemen, everyone, my best wishes. And to my colleague, Khalid Mahmood, our Minister for Cultural Affairs, for him, my best wishes. Joy Bangla.
Many thanks.
Oh, yes.
Many thanks, the Honorable Planning Minister. You are important because you represent the constituency where the great philosopher from Bengal, RadhaRaman was born. And that's why, perhaps, like you said, this is a greater responsibility upon your shoulder. I know that you are also doing some historical things. And personally, when someone is in politics, I would like to see whether there is any visionary activities are happening. So I'm sure RadhaRaman, to remember RadhaRaman Datta's work, you must have done many things, but also we can do so many other things as well. So we expect, we'll hope that you will cooperate to promote RadhaRaman's works in the world stage that these works deserves. Quite gladly, Minister of State for Cultural Affairs from Bangladesh, K M Khalid, has joined. The Honourable Minister, many thanks, a warm welcome to this session. And then also the Member of British Parliament for East Leeds, Richard Burgon, is here, just joined. Many thanks, a warm welcome, Richard, for joining at the inauguration. Let us have a brief words from Fabian Hamilton now. Fabian is having a problem with a bit of internet connection. Many thanks, Fabian, for supporting this festival last 9 or 10 years, and hosting this festival in the House of Commons. So you sponsored this festival when we hosted it in the House of Commons. Many thanks for your great contribution to flourish and shape this festival in a way it is now. Over to you, Fabian.
Thank you very much indeed, Ahmed, and I hope you can hear me clearly and see me. I'm having a lot of problems with the internet as well as our heating systems here at home. That's why I'm out in the park behind me. I'm not really, of course. I just thought you'd prefer it to my kitchen. Ahmed, it's a pleasure to be here. Ministers, members of the Bangladeshi Parliament, my fellow MP Richard Burgon, our former Lord Chancellor and member of the Shadow Cabinet, and indeed our Lord Mayor-elect and my Councillor Khan, who's here as well. And I see just joining us is my neighbour and friend Alex Sobel, Member of Parliament.
Yeah, Alex Sobel just joined.
Yes, he just joined us. And of course, it's lovely to see people like Sohel and many other familiar faces here this afternoon. Mr. Choudhury, of course. Lovely to see you all. Thank you once again for inviting me. It's not quite the same as previous years, Ahmed. You mentioned the bookings we had in Portcullis House when you brought all the musicians and probably about 80 people for the audience in that theatre-like room that we have with the stage. That was a proud moment because it's the first time we'd had anything like that. And as you may be aware, friends and guests, especially our
honoured guests from Bangladesh. We have 3 members of the British Parliament who are of Bangladeshi origin, and we are enormously proud of them. They're all Labour and they're all women. And I have to say, those women do their heritage enormously proud. One of them, of course, as you know, is she's got my old office in Parliament, Tulip Siddiq, and you don't need me to introduce her to you. She is a remarkable, and I dare I say, young woman, because I'm quite old. But all 3 of them, I mean, Rupa Huq has become a good friend. They're all London MPs, which we will forgive them for. We'd like to have some of them in Leeds. But they've all attended the RadhaRaman Festival that we've held, that I've been proud to sponsor in Parliament. Now, why am I so proud of it? Because firstly, a lot of the activists and organisers, especially yourself, Ahmed, are from my home city, our home city of Leeds. So that's a great source of pride. Secondly, and I think the most important thing here, is that the festival brings together not only the very finest elements of Bengali culture, but a level of fusion and multiculturalism that I see I've frozen here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
good. A level of multiculturalism and fusion that I think really projects enormous value onto the cultural aspects of this festival. I think it teaches us so much that British-born people and people like myself from immigrant backgrounds were not aware of about Bangladesh. I know that often the poetry and the music draws on the writings of the great Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore, of whom you should be rightly hugely proud. And I know also that when I go to the British High Commissioner's residence in New Delhi, there sitting with great pride in the front hall is a life-size statue of Tagore. But it's much more than that, because I think what you're showing to the British public, Ahmed, is that Bangladesh is not the country that is projected by our tabloid newspapers so often, poor, undernourished, flooding all the time, where cheap t-shirts are made. It is actually a country of enormous heritage and valued culture, poetry, music, art, dance, which goes back hundreds and hundreds of years through history. A rich seam of culture that is enriching British life and fusing itself into the culture of this country. And I have to say, one of the great things about Britain, about my own parliamentary constituency, is that that rich mix of culture, where we have people from all over the world who call themselves citizens of the capital of Yorkshire, that's Leeds, not Sheffield, or Hull, or Bradford, and that work within the community and within all the multiple communities that we're so proud to represent in our city for the benefit of everybody. And I have to say also, without people of Bangladeshi heritage, our city would be the much, much poorer place. And so I want to wish you every success on this 10th anniversary. I want to wish you another successful 10 years. As long as I'm alive, I will be your supporter, and I will do everything I can to support your work. I feel enriched. I feel a better person. And I know everybody who gets involved with this tremendous festival feels the same. Thank you for being with us today. The fact you've got 3 of our MPs from this city and one of our most esteemed councillors tells you a lot that you need to know about how important RadhaRaman is to all of us. Thank you very much for inviting me today. Thank you, ministers. Thank you, MPs.
Thank you very much, Fabian, once again, for this wonderful speech and all the support that you've made so far.
Not at all.
And look forward for more support year after year, and then look forward for the 11th RadhaRaman Festival, perhaps again in exciting venues, all across Leeds. Alex Sobel, an MP Member of Parliament from Leeds West, and also the Shadow Secretary of Digital Culture just has joined. So we'll go back to Alex afterwards, but the Honorable Minister of State for Cultural Affairs from Bangladesh has joined, K M Khalid. Many thanks আপনাকে সুস্বাগতম মন্ত্রী মহোদয়, আপনি যোগ দিলেন এই ফেস্টিভ্যালে। A festival actually, this is the festival that promotes the beauty of Bengali folk music, but again, global music as well. So it fuses Bengali folk dance with Irish dance, for example, and it also promotes some other beautiful tradition, music and poetry and dance from other traditions, Italian folk music, for example, Greek folk music, for example. And also it's bringing the beauty of Bengali folk music, both from Bangladesh and West Bengal, in the world stage. So this festival also, it happens virtually, will feature some world-leading musicians. So Anup Jalata will join, Pandita Kumar Bose, the head of Benares Karana, will join as part of this this year virtual festival. Parvati Das Baul from India, Jyoti Chakraborty, another wonderful Tagore and versatile singer, will join as part of this festival this year, and some other wonderful artists from Bangladesh and UK will join. So 12 hours live streaming, more than 12 hours live streaming each day. This is the first day, the inauguration of the festival, tomorrow and day after. It happens 3 days altogether every time when you do live event as well. And this is one of the rare festival that happens all day, all night. So we choose some beautiful venue far from the modern crowd, so that people can enjoy the lyrical landscape of the North as well, while they're enjoying the beauty of folk music, predominantly Bengali folk music. Many thanks for joining. আপনার কাছে যাচ্ছি, আপনার কথা শুনতে চাই। আমি মন্ত্রী মহোদয়ের কাছে যাচ্ছি, বাংলাদেশের
সবাইকে অনেক অনেক ধন্যবাদ। আমার এখানে প্রোগ্রামটা সন্ধ্যা 9টায় দেখাচ্ছিল, তবে 9টায় আগ মুহূর্তে এসে দেখে শুরু হয়ে গেছে। আমার এখানে প্লে প্রোগ্রামটা দেওয়া হয়েছে, সেজন্য আমি দুঃখ প্রকাশ করি। আসলে আপনাদের এই আজকে যে আয়োজন, রাধারমণ দত্ত মহোদয়কে নিয়ে, বাংলার লোকগীতির পুরোধা লোককবি রাধারমণ দত্ত, বাংলার সঙ্গীতের এক উজ্জ্বল দিকপাল তিনি। সিলেট অঞ্চলের বিখ্যাত ধামাইল গানের প্রবর্তক, দেহতত্ত্ব, বিচ্ছেদী বৈশাখ, পদাবেশ, হাজার গানের রচয়িত সুরস্রষ্ট মরমী সাধক। সহজে সাধক ও গীতিকবি রাধারমণ 1833 সালে জন্মগ্রহণ করেন সুনামগঞ্জের জগন্নাথপুর গ্রাম। আমাদের আজকের সুধীমণ্ডলী যারা আছেন, মাননীয় মন্ত্রী মহোদয়, আমাদের পরিকল্পনা মন্ত্রী যিনি ইতিমধ্যেই COVID-19 জয় করে আবার আমাদের মাঝে সুস্থ হয়ে ফিরে এসেছেন, মহান আল্লাহ তাআলার দরবারে হাজারো শুকরিয়া জানাই। উপস্থিত সুধীমণ্ডলী সর্বস্তরে, তাদের প্রতি আমার সশ্রদ্ধ সালাম। রাধারমণ দত্তকে নিয়ে আজকের আয়োজন করার জন্য আমি আয়োজকদেরকে গভীর শ্রদ্ধা জানাই। রাধারমণ দত্ত শুধু গীতিকারী ছিলেন না, তিনি একাধারে ছিলেন কবি, সাধক ও সুরস্রষ্টা, যার গানে উঠেছে ভাটি অঞ্চলের কাদামাটির সোদা গন্ধ। আমাদের আরেক দিকপাল হাসন রাজা, মরমী কবি হাসন রাজা। রাধারমণ দত্ত এবং হাসন রাজার মধ্যে একটা যোগাযোগ ছিল, অন্তরের মিল ছিল খুব বেশি। তাদের মধ্যে বিভিন্ন সময় পত্রালাপ হতো। এমন একটি প্রচলিত ধারণা আছে, একবার হাসন রাজা রাধারমণের কুশল জানার জন্য গানের চরণ বাঁধেন। তিনি লিখেছিলেন, রাধারমণ তুমি কেমন, হাসন রাজা জানতে চায়। প্রত্যুত্তরে রাধারমণ লিখেছিলেন, কুশল তুমি আছো কেমন, জানতে চায় রাধারমণ। এই যে যারা চরণ বেঁধেছিলেন দুজন দুজনের দিকে, তাদের মধ্যে একটা বিষয় রাধারাম আসলে মূলত একজন কৃষ্ণ প্রেমিক ছিলেন। কৃষ্ণ বিরহে তিনি লিখেছেন অসংখ্য গান, অসংখ্য গান। কবির সংসার সম্বন্ধে খুব বেশি জানা যায়নি, তবে এটুকু জানা যে কবির 4 পুত্র ছিল, কিন্তু তার 3 পুত্রই অকালে মৃত্যুবরণ করে, তার স্ত্রীও মৃত্যুবরণ করেন। তাদের স্ত্রী পুত্র মৃত্যুবরণের পরে তিনি কবি রাধারমন জীবন সম্পর্কে একেবারে উদাসীন হয়ে পড়েন। আজকে ব্রিটিশ পার্লামেন্টের 3 জন সদস্য আছেন, বাংলাদেশ থেকেও আমরা 2 জন সংসদ, 3 জন সংসদ সদস্য আছি এখানে। মাননীয় মন্ত্রী জনাব এম এ মান্নান, মাননীয় সংসদ সদস্য মুহিবুর রহমান মানিক, জনাব মুহিবুর মানিক, আমি আছি। বিদেশি গেস্টও আছে, আহমেদ কায়সার আছেন, সুজিত চৌধুরী, আপনারা আছেন। তো আজকের গেস্ট যারা আছেন, distinguished guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, on the 10th year celebration of RadhaRaman Folk Festival, a festival of Bengali secular folk music and folk dance, I would like to congratulate everyone involved with this innovative venture. This festival is now shaping into a major global festival with significant participation of audience from all over the world. RadhaRaman Society has already established itself to be a leading promoter of Bengali folk music, and also speaks for the beauty of cultural cohesion through amalgamation of traditional Bengali art from with various forms of world music, poetry, and dance. This is not just a cultural festival. It aims to promote peace, harmony, and cohesion among different culture and cultural groups and communities across the globe. On the eve of this prestigious occasion, I would like to send my best wishes to RadhaRaman Society and its entire team for all the exceptional works they have been doing for the last 10 years. May thanks to all virtual audience join this session today. Thank you, everybody. Joy Bangla.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Minister of State for Cultural Affairs, for your time and a very insightful talk on RadhaRaman Datta. So although it is RadhaRaman Festival, but it largely promotes the folk music from Bengal predominantly, but also it focuses on folk music from other traditions as well. So we do another festival, a remarkable festival, that is called Baul and Boisham Music Festival. The Honorable Member of Parliament from Bangladesh, Muhibur Rahman Manik, attended in one of this festival as well. That happens in Nehru Centre, Indian High Commission, and some theatre venues in London. So many thanks, Honorable Minister of State for Cultural Affairs, for joining and your insightful talk. Our next speaker is Alex Sobel, Member of Parliament for East Leeds West, and the Shadows Minister for Digital Culture, Sports as well. Digital culture.
Thank you, Ahmed. It's a great pleasure for me to come on your 10th anniversary. I've been a supporter of the RadhaRaman Folk Festival since I was a councillor. And when I was a councillor, I was happy to support events in my ward, Moortown ward, which is in Fabian's constituency, with mice money. And I'm sure councillors still provide for funding in that way to the Folk Festival. Now I'm an MP, unfortunately, I can only give best wishes and moral support rather than financial support, but I certainly am happy to do that and join Fabian as well once we're back in Parliament to sponsor rooms and other things so you can have events with us in Parliament. And as you said, it's a great festival. It goes right across our city and now across the world online. But when you have the physical event in Leeds, you don't just have the event in the urban areas. I joined you 2 years ago when you had a beautiful event on Otley Shevin on a beautiful day on the hill where there was music, poetry, food, and many children attended that day as well to be educated in the culture of Bangladesh and the music and the instruments and the food as well. And I think that's the beauty of the festival, that it promotes culture. And as you said, not just one culture, cultures from around the world, the global culture, global melting pot that we do have here in Leeds and in Yorkshire. And as now, you know, this year I've become the shadow minister, as you said, in our culture team. And part of my brief is around tourism. So it's great to meet virtually the planning minister, maybe in future. That'll be something where we can work together around UK Bangladeshi tourism. And also part of my brief is on heritage and the important heritage that folk music and the sort of folk culture that RadhaRaman is part of are vitally important. And so, you know, it's a wonderful festival. And I'm just hoping that next year in 2021, the 11th festival, we can sit again in the sunshine and hear poetry and music and share food. And I'm just going to finish with a poem, unfortunately not by a Bangladeshi poet, but by one of my favourite poets, the great Chilean poet, Pablo Neruda, because it's been a very difficult year with COVID, and he writes about loneliness, isolation, and unfortunately death as well. And I think his poem helps encapsulate some of the things that we've been going through. Obviously, he didn't go through COVID, but he went through other difficult things in his life. And I'm not sure I have time to read all of it. The poem is Keeping Quiet. Now we'll count to 12, and we will all keep still. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for a second and not move our arms so much. It would be an exotic moment, without rush, without engines. We'd all be together in a sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the men gathering salt would not look at their hurt hands. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victories with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade, doing nothing. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. I want no truck with death. We were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving, and for once we could do nothing. Perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. Perhaps the earth can teach us, so when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Now I'll count up to 12, and you keep quiet, and I will go. Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, everybody.
What a beautiful, beautiful poem, Alex. Pablo Neruda is my favorite as well. So one of the phenomenal Latin American Chilean poet, socialist poet, I should say, and also who is equally a poet who promotes, who promoted profound love through hunting verses. So Pablo Neruda is quite close to our heart. And many thanks for reading from Pablo Neruda. And I'm sure Planning Minister of Bangladesh is here, and he will be interested in, like you said, the tourism project that you are planning to go ahead with. Perhaps Planning Minister will assist in relation to this. So many thanks, Alex, for joining again. I know you have another meeting to join, and many thanks again for your wonderful speech and for your support. Always, as always, like you said, when you were councillor, you also supported this festival meeting. Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Richard Burgon. Richard Burgon is a Member of Parliament, British Parliament for East Leeds, and Shadow Secretary, former Shadow Secretary of Justice.
Thanks very much, Ahmed, and it's wonderful to join you all. And Alex has beaten both Fabian and myself by picking one of his famous poems. If only we'd thought of that. So I was hurriedly trying to find a poem on my phone, but couldn't find one. Maybe next time I can come back and read a poem. I'm really glad that Alex shared that poem with us by Pablo Neruda, because we can all educate each other in different traditions of poetry and different traditions of music and culture. And that, of course, is exactly what the RadhaRaman Festival is all about. Before I became a Member of Parliament in 2015, I first attended the RadhaRaman Festival, and I learnt a lot. I learnt a lot about Bengali culture. I learnt a lot about Bengali music. I learnt a lot about Bengali folk tradition. I learnt a lot about Bengali poetry. And that's important, because it's not only celebrating the culture from which your ancestors come and your own culture, it's also enriching cultures into which the city of Leeds as well. And it's wonderful that we can all share our different cultural heritages. And we can see that today, when as a community, we're coming together for the 10th anniversary of the RadhaRaman Folk Festival. It's fantastic that we've got the next Lord Mayor of Leeds, Councillor Asghar Khan, with us. And who would have thought, if you asked Asghar's ancestors, his grandparents, his great-grandparents in Kashmir, that one day somebody from their family would move to Leeds in England and would be the Lord Mayor of Leeds, they would have maybe found it hard to believe, in a similar way to the fact that my ancestors who came from Ireland would find it very hard to believe that their great-grandson would end up being a Member of Parliament in Leeds. And in the same way, when Fabian was discussing earlier, the three Bengali, Bangladeshi members of Parliament, Labour members of Parliament in London. And we're all part of one culture, but we're all part of diversity of cultures within that culture. So it's wonderful to be with you. I'm delighted to have heard from Alex. I'm delighted to have heard from Fabian, and delighted also to be joined by government ministers and parliamentarians from Bangladesh as well. And I want to pay particular tribute to Ahmed for the work that he does. 10 years is no small thing. And the other incredible thing is how he looks as young now as he was 10 years ago when this festival was set up. That's what culture does. That's what singing does. It keeps you, that's what dancing does. It keeps you looking young, and that certainly applies in Ahmed's case. I remember not too long ago, before this pandemic, going to a fantastic event organised by Ahmed and his team in Chapel Allerton in the Seven Arts Centre, where a folk opera from Bangladesh was staged. And in the audience, there were people who were of Bangladeshi descent. There were people who were of English descent and had been born here. All of them brought together, celebrating that culture, learning more about it. And I think we're very lucky to have such a diverse city here in Leeds, because it enriches all of our lives. So it's wonderful to be with you, but I'm looking forward to hopefully next year, hopefully when everything is safe again for us to all socialise in person. I'm looking forward to being with you all in person, whether it be outdoors on Otley Shevin, whether it be at the Bangladeshi Centre on Rounday Road, whether it be at a venue, for example, such as the Hamara Centre or another venue in Beeston or elsewhere. It'll be wonderful to come together. But culture, which is always important, poetry and music, which are always important, have helped to sustain us in a very important and special way throughout this crisis, a crisis like the which none of us in this country have lived through before. But we've been given sustenance by culture, poetry, music throughout this period, just as a community has come together to provide literal sustenance with food banks, community food kitchens, and sharing everything we have to help people through this tough time. So the work that Ahmed and others have put on in making sure that the RadhaRaman Festival didn't itself fall victim to the coronavirus pandemic and could continue using online technology, that has provided intellectual sustenance of people, that has provided moral sustenance of people, that has provided, yes, spiritual perhaps sustenance for people. And of course, there are many different interpretations of what the word spiritual means. But when we come together, we certainly feel a special bond on this call today. And I want to give special greetings to everyone who's watching online and everyone who's going to be enjoying the RadhaRaman Festival today, tomorrow, and on Sunday. It's a full program. It's a fantastic program. It's a fantastic achievement. I was pleased to see the Yorkshire Evening Post giving this festival the coverage it deserves. I think it was a fantastic achievement that not too long ago it was identified as one of the top 10 folk festivals in our region. I think that's quite fantastic and a tribute to the efforts of Ahmed and everybody who puts this on. I'm proud to be with you. I'm delighted to be with you. And here, from the bottom of my heart, is to the next 10 years, the 10 years after that, and the 10 years after that.
Many thanks, Richard, for this really inspiring speech. Thank you once again for your support for this festival. Let us share a screen. The Minister for Culture of Indian High Commission sent a wonderful message. Let us share this before we finish today's inauguration session. Just a second.
Namaste, my name is Amish Tripathi. I am the Minister of Culture at the High Commission of India to the UK and Director of the Nehru Centre, London. And I'd like to give my compliments to the RadhaRaman Festival 2020. It has been in existence for 10 years now, celebrating the wonderful Bengali music that practically all of us enjoy. Sadly, in its 10th year, we're all suffering under the Wuhan Corona pandemic, and like most others, the RadhaRaman Folk Festival will also be celebrating online, but that will not reduce the beauty of the music and the art forms that it celebrates. I myself have a connection with West Bengal. I have studied in Calcutta. I did my MBA out there many years ago. And I grew to love Bengali music, folk music, Rabindra Sangeet out there, and I'm delighted that RadhaRaman Folk Festival is keeping those wonderful traditions alive in right here in the UK. They celebrate wonderful Indian Vaishnav music, for example. So my suggestion to all of you, do check out the RadhaRaman Folk Festival 2020, which will be in an online avatar this year. It will be spread over 3 days, as always. And do enjoy the wonderful Bengali music that is a part of the rich tradition of the Indian subcontinent, but is now being celebrated in the UK as well. Thank you.
Many thanks. This is the Director of Nehru Centre, the Minister for Culture from of Indian High Commission. And many thanks the Director of Nehru Centre for supporting this festival in meaningful ways. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching to the end. As you know, tomorrow also a panel discussion will feature Her Excellency the High Commissioner of Bangladesh, and some leading intellectuals from India. That includes the ex-former Vice Chancellor of Rabindra Bharati University, Pavitra Sarkar, the former Vice Chancellor of Assam University, Tohodir Bhattacharya, and the former Vice Chancellor from Gauravanga University, Gopa Dr. Bhowmik, who will join tomorrow. Anup Chalataji will join tomorrow. Some wonderful singers and performers will join from Bangladesh. That includes Bappa Mujumdar, Sadiya Islam Mo, Opi Karim, Tanna Khan, Farhana Choudhury, and an Iranian musician tambura player, Niknaz, will join from Iran tomorrow. Today we will feature Lara Edi's performance, Simon Theka, and then a Baul from Shantiniketan, Raju Das Baul, will be featured as part of today's programming. And day after tomorrow, Jyoti Chakraborty, a leading Tagore singer and versatile singer from Kolkata, Parvati Das Baul from Kolkata will join as part of Sunday, the finale of the festival session. And that includes our own UK-based artist, Gauri Choudhury, Amir Muhammad, Sanjoy Dey, Shumana Mullik Boshu, Labani Bodua, Jesse Bodua, and many others. We'll also talk on folk music. Sohail Ahmed is here. Someone from Nilanjana Jui will join from Bangladesh tomorrow. Indrani Ghosh will join from here. So there are a wide spectrum of performers who will join all 3 days, and some of them are world leading. And many thanks to all medias who covered this festival with huge attention, and that includes Asghar Potrika, a leading Potrika from Kolkata. Richard just mentioned about Yorkshire Evening Post did a wonderful coverage. BBC just took an interview today. So many thanks to all Ittifaq Bangladesh, Daily Ittifaq, did beautiful coverage. That includes Jugantor, Shamokal. Many medias, actually many newspapers helped us to connect and reach actually the audiences from all across the globe, as predominantly from Bangladesh and India. So many thanks to the journalists, and many thanks to all of our panelists, many thanks to our audiences. We are approaching to the end. Mitul, if you kindly tell us, share just in 2 or 3 words, if you would like to read any comment perhaps, and if you'd like to share anything, please do. And then we'll have a short message from Shuji, Suhail, Ahmed afterwards.
Lots of comments. I'll read a few, and apology if I'm not reading everyone's comments. Om Namah Shivaya, many thanks. God bless you and your family and friends. Sayyid Habibur Rahman, lots of thanks. You guys who sacrificed their hard endeavor and labor for this historical event in crisis. Manush Choudhury, all the best. Ali Nur Rashid, আয়োজকদের ধন্যবাদ এমন একটা অনুষ্ঠান আয়োজনের জন্য। পুষ্পিতা গুপ্ত, নমস্কার। রাহুল চন্দ্র দাস, ভালো লাগছে, আপনাদের ধন্যবাদ এত সুন্দর আয়োজনের জন্য। And as for my comment, I think during this time of crisis, it is extremely important to look after our mental health. And while we are in lockdown, I think poetry, music, these are the best ways of keeping our mental health healthy. And I think in such a great and commendable initiative. But obviously this year it is different, but it is great to see how wonderfully RadhaRaman Folk Festival has shaped itself into a global festival, and how it celebrates togetherness. And this is a great example of integrity. Thank you.
Many thanks, Mitul. Just to let you know that Pandit Kumar Ghosh, the head of Banaras Gharana, will also join briefly on Sunday. Omid Day, another talented singer who will perform on Sunday as well. So please follow follow this link. Please follow our programming. I'm sure they will. This is the best treat actually. Like Fabian mentioned, this is the best treat during COVID for world audiences. So it's not just from just Bengali or Indian folk music. It also gives you the best of world music and world dance as well. Many thanks to all of our audiences for your beautiful comment. Sridhar Choudhury, as you know, one of the key organizers of this festival, unfortunately he left us, left Leeds, and he's in London now. But many thanks for joining. Many thanks for all of your hard work during this festival. So if you kindly say just a few words before we finish.
Thank you, Kaysher. Thank you for calling me in, though I'm a Londoner now, but that doesn't matter. I'm a part and parcel of RadhaRaman Utsav all the time. I'm very happy to see our planning minister and state minister for culture from Bangladesh. It's reminding me my work time in Bangladesh. I spent about 10 years in planning ministry. So very nice to see them. Of course, I met Muhibur Rahman Manik last year, and he's one of our honored person in our area and from RadhaRaman's area. I would like to thank Fabian Hamilton, Councillor Asghar Khan, and Alex Sobel, everyone for being with us for 10 years. And we would like to carry on for as many years to come. And I would obviously congratulate and pay my greatest tribute to Ahmed Kaysher for carrying this on for so many years. It's basically RadhaRaman Society was a brainchild of him. A few of us, including me, from the beginning, we are just supporting him. So it was his brainchild, and he is putting all his hard work behind it. We just supported him, and we feel proud to be a part of it. That's why I'm here. I would like to thank you all and wish to see you all in future events. Thank you, everybody.
Many thanks. We have the editor of the Grunty, one of the leading South Asian literary platform here in London, Shamim Shan. If you'd like to say a few words before we finish.
Thank you, Kaysher. Many thanks to all honorable guests today join the 10th RadhaRaman Festival with all the viewers of the world in the 3 days virtual event. It is possible to hold such event from abroad. Stay with everyone. Many thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Shamshan. Like Sridhar Choudhury mentioned, please follow this page just to get yourself mesmerized by the beauty of folk music being performed by the world-leading musicians, world-leading performers. So this is going live in Facebook. This is going live in YouTube as well. So please follow those pages, RadhaRaman Folk Festival UK page. Suhail Ahmed, a founder of an LGBT group, Apongor, and a firm supporter of the festival. If you kindly say a few words before we finish. You are unmuted. You are muted. You have to unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear. We can hear you.
Thank you everyone, and thank you Kaysher bhai. এই বছর আমরা আমাদের এই রাধারামন ফেস্টিভ্যালটা আমরা খুব মিস করছি। আমরা আসলে কেউ ভালো নেই, তারপরেও আমরা অনলাইনে চেষ্টা করছি আমাদের মনটাকে ভালো করার জন্য। আমরা বরাবরের মতোই আমরা চেষ্টা করব আমাদের সঙ্গে যারা ছিলেন তারা যেন এখানে থাকেন এবং আমাদেরকে একটু হলেও আমাদের আনন্দ দেওয়ার জন্য আসেন। আমরা থ্যাঙ্কস দিব আমাদের বাংলাদেশের অনারেবল মিনিস্টার, পার্লামেন্ট মেম্বার যারা আমাদের সাথে জয়েন করেছেন, মানিক ভাই জয়েন করেছেন এবং আরো যারা আছেন বাংলাদেশ থেকে আমাদের গুণীজন, সবাইকে অনেক অনেক ধন্যবাদ। আমরা বাংলা কালচারটাকে এই বিদেশের মাটিতে আমরা এত সুন্দর করে আমাদের এই প্রজন্মের বাচ্চাদের কাছে উপস্থাপন করছি, যা সম্ভব হয়েছে আমাদের টি এম কায়সার ভাই রাধারমন সোসাইটির মাধ্যমে আমরা এই কাজটা করতে পেরেছি। থ্যাংক ইউ ফর অল মাই ব্রিটিশ পার্লামেন্ট মেম্বার্স, স্পেশাল থ্যাংকস ফর ফ্যাবিয়ান হ্যামিলটন এবং আজগর, যিনি আমাদেরকে গত বছর অনেক বড় সম্মাননা দিয়েছেন লিডস কাউন্সিল থেকে। আর আপনারা সবাই আমাদের সঙ্গে থাকবেন, বাংলা কালচারটাকে যেন আমরা বিশ্বের দরবারে এই রাধারমন সোসাইটির মাধ্যমে আরো অনেক দূর নিয়ে যেতে পারি। অনেক ধন্যবাদ। এই 3 দিন আমাদের সঙ্গে থাকবেন, আমাদের মাঝে আপনারা সবসময় আমাদের সহযোগিতার হাত বাড়িয়ে দিবেন। ভালো থাকুন, সুস্থ থাকুন।
Thank you, Sohail Ahmed, for your ending words. Many thanks to all of our viewers. Many thanks to our friends who are working tirelessly from behind the scene, and that include Jasmine Choudhury, a Labour Party member who was shortlisted for Labour MP before, but mainly a wonderful friend of us, an equality campaigner. Many thanks for your support from behind the scene. Many thanks to a poet, a journalist, and a wonderful friend of us, Sarwari Alam, who is also working from behind the scene. Many thanks to all of you, and especially the viewers who have been supporting festival from since it began. And many thanks to all of our panelists, and that include Honorable Planning Minister M A Mannan, who represented the constituency where RadhaRaman, the great folk philosopher of Bengal, was born. Many thanks to the Minister of State for Cultural Affairs, K M Khalid, Honorable Minister. Many thanks for joining as part of this inauguration session. Like I said, this festival will continue till Sunday, so 3-day festival. It happens traditionally 3 days, just in the beautiful lyrical landscape, beautiful nature of the north. Look forward to meeting you perhaps after this COVID as part of this festival, both of our ministers, when we can do the live events. We'll perhaps invite you in 11 RadhaRaman Festival if we can do this in live form, in physical form. Many thanks to Muhibur Rahman Manik, who have been supporting this festival, who attended last year, and gratitude, immense gratitude to you for your great contribution. Many thanks to our contributors, our partners, UK, South Asian Arts, UK also helped us. Geeta Upadhyay, the founder of Kala Sangam, has helped this festival to shape in a form it is now. Jayanta Roy, the co-founder of Sangeet Foundation, who is here. Many thanks for all of your support and especially promoting the festival for wider audiences. Many thanks, Councillor Asghar Khan, the next mayor of City Leeds. Many thanks for your passionate contribution to this festival since almost since it began. So we would like to end today's session perhaps by a beautiful dance that has been sent from Bangladesh just to congratulate us, and that's by the Spondan Dance Academy, Onik Bosch and Kosturi Mukherjee. Let us finish with this dance session. But see you soon again. Please follow us in Facebook. If you'd like to add anything, please do. The ministers, honorable ministers, would you like to add anything before we finish? Councillor Asghar Khan. would you like to add anything?
একটা বিষয় কায়সার সাহেব, ধন্যবাদ, বক্তৃতা নয়, আমাদের
No,
মধ্যে চারজন সদস্য, আমার বারবার বলা হচ্ছে তিনজন, কমনসের মধ্যে আমাদের চারজন লেডি আছেন, তাই না?
এখন চারজন।
হ্যাঁ,
এখন
এইটা কয়েকবার তিনজন বলা হচ্ছিল, এটা আপনার আমার মধ্যে, ওইটা ওদেরকে বলা দরকার।
এখন
ওকে, ধন্যবাদ।
Great. এখন চারজন অবশ্য। Honorable Minister of State for Culture, K M Khalid, would you like to add anything before we finish?
Yes. I have nothing to say. Thank you very much for inviting me in this type of honorable RadhaRaman Society's organizations meeting. So I'm very grateful to you. Thank you.
Would like to see you as part of this festival here in Leeds next year, perhaps. So please prepare.
Next year, maybe if it is possible and fate goes to me, then I can participate.
Exactly. Fantastic. Yeah, you'll love it. You'll definitely love it. The way we try to host this, shape this. This is in a relaxing, beautiful nature. The music and
physically চলে যাব সেই সময়
at the top of the hill sometime, and by the river, by the bank of the river, and mainly all day, all night.
টাকা দেওয়ার মালিক হলো মাননীয় পরিকল্পনা মন্ত্রী, টাকা দিলে আমরা চলে যাব।
মাননীয় পরিকল্পনা মন্ত্রী আমাদের Alex Sobel is the shadow minister of tourism, so he perhaps would like to talk to you in relation to some collaboration with UK. That's what is mentioned in his speech. So perhaps, if you don't mind, I can pass your details and contact details to him.
Okay, good. Thank you. We look forward to very young MP.
Thank you very much, Manik Bhai. Manik Bhai, yeah.
Ahmed, it's Councillor Asghar Khan. I just want to say it's been a pleasure listening to the parliamentarian from Bangladesh, and also listening to our parliament from British Parliament as well. And as they said, I will be the next Lord Mayor of Leeds, the second biggest authority in the UK.
Great.
And hopefully, inshallah, God willing, I will host you in the Civic Hall, where we will have some performance, and with my pleasure, because like I said early on, the RadhaRaman Festival has broken a lot of barriers and has built some bridges with different communities. And, you know, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you, what you do. We are proud of you from the Bangladesh community in Leeds, and we look forward working with you as well in the future. I just want to say thank you and have a wonderful next 3 days.
Thank you, Asghar Bhai. Many thanks. Manik Bhai would like to add anything before we finish? You are on mute. So if you'd like to unmute yourself, আপনি মিউটেড আছেন। হ্যাঁ, এখন শোনা যাচ্ছে।
অশেষ ধন্যবাদ আর শুভেচ্ছা থাকলো। দশম এই যে ফেস্টিভ্যাল হচ্ছে, এটি যাতে সুন্দরভাবে সম্পন্ন হয়, এবং একাদশ ফেস্টিভ্যাল যখন হবে তখন নিশ্চয়ই আমরা সশরীরে উপস্থিত হয়ে এটিকে আরো উপভোগ করব। এবং বাংলাদেশ, আমাদের মাননীয় পরিকল্পনা মন্ত্রী এবং মাননীয় সংস্কৃতি প্রতিমন্ত্রী মহোদয় দুইজনই যেভাবে যুক্ত হয়েছেন, আশা করছি এটি বাংলাদেশেও এই ধরনের উৎসবের মধ্য দিয়ে আমাদের ব্রিটিশ আপনারা যে ফেস্টিভ্যালের আয়োজন করেছেন, আমরা জয়েন্টলি যদি করতে পারি, আমাদের কালচার বহির্বিশ্বে তো অবশ্যই, এবং আমরা আরো বেশি সমৃদ্ধ হব, এবং নিশ্চয়ই রাধারমনকে পৃথিবীতে আরো বাংলা ভাষাভাষী মানুষের কাছে, এমনকি বাংলা ভাষাভাষী ছাড়াও যারা রাধারমনকে জানার আগ্রহ আছে তাদের কাছে আমরা পৌঁছে দিতে পারবো। সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ।
Mr. Ahmed Kaysher, one question. আমরা এখানে যারা আছি, এখানে তো নারী পার্টিসিপেন্ট অনলি একজন, আমার মনে হয় বাড়াইতে হবে, এটা অবশ্যই।
জেন্ডার ব্যালেন্সের জায়গাটা আমি শুরুতেই বলে নিয়েছি,
বেশি ব্যালেন্স হয়ে গেছে।
না একদম এটা সত্যি আজকে দুজন আমাদের যে পার্টনার আর দুজন আছেন সাই ইউকের ফাউন্ডার কিরণজিৎ কৌর Vardy was supposed to join but unfortunately so three leaders from women supposed to join as part of this inauguration but unfortunately they couldn't in the last minute so this is an apology from RadhaRaman Society. Thank you. Thank you. See you soon again. Let us finish with a beautiful clip that we received from Bangladesh Pondan Academy.
Thank you.
রাধারমণ উৎসবে
10 বছর পূর্তিতে
আমাদের নিবেদন।
জলের ঘাটে দেখা আইলাম কি সুন্দর শ্যামরায় জলের ঘাটে দেখা আইলাম কি সুন্দর শ্যামরায় শ্যামরায় ভ্রমরায় ঘুইরা ঘুইরা মধু খায় শ্যামরায় ভ্রমরায় ঘুইরা ঘুইরা মধু খায় জলের ঘাটে দেখা আইলাম কি সুন্দর শ্যামরায় জলের ঘাটে দেখা আইলাম কি সুন্দর শ্যামরায় নিত্যি নিত্যি ফুল বাগানে ভ্রমরায় মধু খায় নিত্যি নিত্যি ফুল বাগানে ভ্রমরায় মধু খায় আয় গো ললিতা সখী আবার দেখি পুনরায় আয় গো ললিতা সখী আবার দেখি পুনরায় জলের ঘাটে দেখা আইলাম কি সুন্দর শ্যামরায় জলের ঘাটে দেখা আইলাম কি সুন্দর শ্যামরায় ভাই বে রাধা রমন বলে পাইলাম না রে হায় রে হায় ভাই বে রাধা রমন বলে পাইলাম না রে হায় রে হায় পাইতাম যদি প্রাণ বন্ধু রে রাখতাম হৃদয় পিঞ্জিরায় পাইতাম যদি প্রাণ বন্ধু রে রাখতাম হৃদয় পিঞ্জিরায় জলের ঘাটে দেখা আইলাম কি সুন্দর শ্যামরায় জলের ঘাটে দেখা আইলাম কি সুন্দর শ্যামরায় শ্যামরায় ভ্রমরায় ঘুইরা ঘুইরা মধু খায় শ্যামরায় ভ্রমরায় ঘুইরা ঘুইরা মধু খায় জলের ঘাটে দেখা আইলাম কি সুন্দর শ্যামরায় জলের ঘাটে দেখা আইলাম কি সুন্দর শ্যামরায় জলের ঘাটে দেখা আইলাম কি সুন্দর
Many thanks to all of our audiences. Let us finish by just few words, couple of words from Omar Botto. একদম পেছন থেকে নেপথ্যে যিনি কাজ করেন সবসময়
যে যেখান থেকে যুক্ত হয়েছেন সবাইকে 10 বছর পূর্তি উপলক্ষে রাধারমন সোসাইটির পক্ষ থেকে অসংখ্য অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ ও শুভেচ্ছা অভিনন্দন। আশা করি এই 3 দিন যাবত আমাদের প্রোগ্রাম চলবে, সবাই থাকবেন, সহযোগিতা করবেন। এই সংস্কৃতি যার কোনো বিকল্প নাই, একমাত্র সংস্কৃতি সুন্দর সমাজ, মানবিক সমাজ গঠন করতে পারে, এটা আমরা সবাই জানি। তাই সবার সহযোগিতা কামনা করি।
অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে। আমরা next session is a violin performance by a world-leading violinist, the finest violinist from India.